Hey everyone, this is Matt, the EmeraldAvenger. With E3 2019 about a month away, the Halo community is expecting to see some news leading up to and during E3 about Halo Infinite. But what are we going to get? What kind of new teasers, what kind of new content drops, what details are we going to be revealed to? We don't know at this point. Like most people, I have my wish list of things I would like to see in Halo Infinite. Some of these things that I want to see have, to some extent, been confirmed already. So here are my 10 things I want to see in Halo Infinite.
Like a Hellcat.
More customization. So, first of all, this one has been confirmed to an extent. They have confirmed that there's going to be more of a Reach style to the customization system. Halo 5 wasn't really notable for its customization system, nor was Halo MCC, with it being restricted in Halo MCC to armor sets, and then in Halo 5 it was armor, helmet, and visor, and of course colors was about all you could do. Now, I would love to see the introduction of more colors, though there's already a lot of colors in Halo 5. I believe if that carries over, it'll be passable. And the one drawback of Halo 5 is that it lacked the complexity that was in Halo Reach and also somewhat in Halo 4. I would like to see this come back, and also more of a unlocking system style thing that was in Halo Reach and Halo 4 on top of a credit and possibly loot box style system, though I would prefer to step away from loot boxes like most of the community agrees with. I would also like to see this customization sway a little bit to the classic art style like has been teased with the Halo Infinite teaser, kind of a mix between the old and the new art style, with still the variety of armors, colors, and visor colors that was in Halo 5, maybe even more, maybe bring back some classic ones, but all have a kind of classic spin to it. On the same note, I would like to see a new art style. Maybe a return to classic, maybe something in between, but this has been confirmed that we're going to kind of get a middle ground between the Halo 1 through 3 style and the Halo 4 and 5 style. In addition to Reach, Halo 4 and 5 have a different art style than the original games, with Halo Reach being really unique because it is supposed to be representing a technologically old version of the Halo universe, whereas Halo 4 and 5 are technologically new, period, in the Halo universe. Unlike most of the community, I do not have that much of a problem with the new art style. It makes machinimas and other creation tools like that be a lot more visually realistic and not as cartoony from a serious storytelling point. However, I do believe that the art style should be partially reverted back to the classic style, not too dramatically like what we're seeing in the Halo Infinite teasers, because I am odd amongst the Halo community. But this change does bring some story problems. A way that the art style reset could be explained is a technological reset, because the AIs have taken over the newer tech, and the UNSC now has to rely on older, more mechanical equipment to combat the AIs. I feel like taking this approach to it would be a great way of explaining why everything looks a bit older and more classic compared to what we see in Halo 4 and 5, and also they could keep some of the technology and art style of Halo 4 and 5 as the created weapons or stuff like that. I think that would be a cool approach they could take. I would like to see them consider that option. Next, I would like to see open world and RPG elements. This has also to some extent been confirmed. With an object as massive as a Halo ring, and the teaser seeming to show clips from the same map in a largely open environment, would make me think that we're going to get an open world as the main map of the game. I feel like this would be 343's chance to reinvent the franchise and explore new game types and game styles, keeping in touch with how Halo has always been. How Halo CE was a very, very big map for most of the maps. It's just one big map, just the game took place on different sections of it. I could see an approach like that happening, or even on larger scale like you would see in like Assassin's Creed, Witcher, or Skyrim. However, I do believe it still needs to be first person despite being open world. Maybe a looter shooter in the Destiny or Anthem style would work for this, and 343 could take that as some inspiration, but I would like to see them take their own spin on this concept and make it their own in the franchise. Lastly, for the mostly confirmed items on my wish list, I would like to see 2 to 4 player split screen return in Halo Infinite. The lack of split screen is one of my biggest criticisms of Halo 5. Hardware limitations may be an excuse for this, however, I don't see it as acceptable. The The lack of split screen in modern shooter games has kind of dwindled my interest and enjoyment in the genre. It would breathe new life into the franchise and allow older fans to relive memories from the previous entries with the modern graphics and gameplay. It would also bring back the LAN and in-house gameplay sessions and game nights people used to have back in the ages of pre-Halo 5 era, especially in Halo Reach, which is when I was formally introduced into the series because of one of my good friends. We would always go to his house and pick up a game of Halo Reach, and we played together through the campaign. It was all awesome, and Halo 5 not having split screen was actually very bumming for both of us because he didn't have the money to get an Xbox One, and I didn't have another Xbox One for him to play on, so we were never able to play Halo 5 together. So I'm really hoping we see a fully fleshed out split screen system in Halo Infinite. Up next is ability and movement progression system. Considering how likely it is that the open world RPG style may make it into the final game, we'll still need movement abilities to get around the massive map. A progression system similar to Assassin's Creed Odyssey or Origins may be something we could see in Halo Infinite. Take this for instance. The abilities start out very basic, maybe even more basic than that of Halo 5's campaign, with no ground pound, no Spartan charge, or maybe even no hover. And as you progress through the game, you unlock those abilities as well as unlock the Warzone armor mods in some way, form, or fashion. I feel like a system like this could be expanded on into future titles, considering how we did see some Spartan abilities and armor abilities being used in the Halo 5 campaign. I would really love to see this pushed forward. This one's a bit of a stretch, but a story co-op team picker. If the game takes a co-op campaign style similar to Halo 5, the inclusion of being able to choose from a large pool of characters would be awesome. Say the picker forces a commander for the mission depending on the story and then allows you to choose a marksman, scout, or specialist. Characters would be Blue Team, Osiris, Arbiter, Shipmaster, Thorn, and other members of Majestic, and the playable elites from Halo 3 and more, considering how large of a pool they had in Halo Wars 2 with all the commanders. The system may be better suited as a free play mode that you unlock after playing the main story, similar to how the LEGO Star Wars games have. You play through the mission with the story characters, and then after you complete it, you can go back on a free play and pick whatever characters you want. I feel like a system like this would be really cool. This was an idea I had back at the beginning of Halo 5. It'd be awesome to play as the Arbiter and his team, or Palmer and her team, or Fireteam Majestic, and all the other stuff. I was really hoping we get more expansion on that, especially with how Halo Wars 2 was going, but sadly we didn't, and I have to live with that. Now this next one, inversely to the previous, is actually highly likely. Bigger Forge and Prefab systems. This is pretty self-explanatory, but with every entry since Halo 3, Forge has gotten bigger and better. But I wanted to go further, especially in the capabilities of the Prefab system. A very specific thing I want is the ability to change the mass of vehicles so a Wasp can actually be used in Prefabs. Another thing that is somewhat related is the return of past weapons and vehicles. This could also go into customization or something like that, but I would love to see a return of all the classic weapons and vehicles since we are revisiting a classic art style. This next one with the current art style is quite unlikely, but I would love to see more playable races. Like in Halo 2, 3, and Reach, the re-edition of elites as playable characters in multiplayer would be an absolutely amazing addition. In addition to this, I think brutes and soldiers could be also playable in multiplayer with some interesting ability interactions. These could expand on the ability progression system that I mentioned for the campaign, with soldiers having teleportation and phasing based abilities, while elites have more physical movement based abilities. The reason I believe elites have not been playable is because the new art style has them as hulking beasts instead of their almost human size that they had in Halo 1, 2, 3, and Reach. And this new art style that we might be seeing would reopen this door. Another thing from a content creator and machinimator perspective is helmet-specific customizable HUDs. This has been something I've wanted for a long time in Halo. Helmet and visor specific HUDs would add more depth and variety as well as immersion to the customization experience. However, this would have to be balanced so that some helmets don't entirely obscure your vision. As well, they might not be available in ranked games just for fairness and balance. In addition, I would want to be able to customize the HUD in the campaign so it fits my visual needs, or so I can insert whatever visor I want based on the multiplayer customization. I would also like some sort of color control when it comes to the color of my visor. That would be something really cool because we saw something very similar in Halo 5 where each of the Spartans had a different visor but also had a different color. So I would like to see something like this make it into Halo Infinite. Last but not least, and this is entirely dependent on where the story goes, but I would like, if the rumors of Chief dying because of his voice actor retiring are true, I want the story to close here. Some fans don't want Halo without Chief, others believe that Halo 5 would pass the torch to Locke, which it didn't really achieve. I personally don't want the story to continue without Chief as a main game. A spin-off game, on the other hand, would be great, like an ODST style game with returning ODST characters, or a Reach style game, but with the co-op inclusion for the campaign that we saw in Halo 5. I don't really want another character to take the lead in the Halo series after Master Chief, so I believe if they take this similar formula and do end off Chief with a bang, I feel like Halo Infinite could be the greatest game in the entire franchise. Now, considering how most of these are highly unlikely, there is no guarantee that any of these, besides the first couple that are to some extent confirmed, will even be considered when making Halo Infinite. Though I do hope some employee from 343 eventually finds this video and decides to take consideration what my opinions are, even though it's highly unlikely. So what do you guys think? Let's have a discussion in the comment section. Tell me what your ideas, what your wish list, things that you want to see in Halo Infinite. And all that aside, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Go follow me on all my social medias. Go join my Discord to join the conversation. I will see you guys in the next one. This is Matt, the Emerald Avenger. Peace out.